Hello, everybody. This is Douglas Holmes here, owner of White Wolf Marketing, coming at you with some new information on how to adjust your search results so that you can get the best results possible. We're going to go into a full example of how to do on-page SEO optimization per keyword. And we're going to do this to make sure that we're first targeting the topic itself and the questions, and of course the interest level of the clients that we want to see land on our page. Now this is just going to be a general covering, just because I want this video to apply to all businesses that watch it. So, but again, we're going to get really in deep here. Okay, so we're just going to jump right into it. Make sure to like and subscribe so that way you can stay tuned for new content. The first thing we're going to talk about here is step one: choose the keyword that you want to target. The first step is definitely make sure you're choosing the keyword that's going to get the attraction towards the product or service that you want, not so much just the general overview. Like if you're a landscaper but you primarily focus on sprinkler systems, for example, you definitely want to make sure that you're targeting the keyword for sprinkler irrigation services, or long tail keywords like sprinkler irrigation services near me. And this is just a base keyword. You're not creating pages to target keywords. You're not creating pages to target topics. Most know this, but what you probably aren't aware of is that when you target a page for a keyword, you automatically optimize it for the topic. So, this means we shouldn't be too concerned with topics versus keywords. Just be aware you are targeting the topic itself as long as the keyword is within the topic. In some cases, there isn't a main keyword to target, and the topic will contain several searches, around 100 to 200 volume per month, compared with your main keyword having, say, 400 searches a day. But again, that's because the long tail version of the topic and its questions are different than the keyword in itself, which is the umbrella for the topic that they're searching for. Let's say it's kind of hard in those cases, depending on your keyword. That's why, if you have a question, you can always send it to me, and I'll try to get you the best information I got on the keyword. That way you can, tell if it's something that's valuable or if it's something that we should be chasing or shouldn't be chasing. We're going to get into that a little bit too in just a second, talk about the keyword volume and how much that matters depending on the search volume of the keyword per month. Now, step 2 of 1, so step 1.1 would be identify the topic itself. The topic here is, for example, laptops, notebooks for nursing students, okay? Obviously, but we're thinking now in terms of English phrase, not just single keywords. We have to think about what people are typing in, how they're typing it in. If the keyword was duplicate content, then your topic could be number 1 for these things, but looking at page 1 for that keyword, there's a range of topics from avoiding creating duplicate content to how to fix a duplicate content penalty. So as you can see, this is an important step. Identifying your topic is very, very important, and also try to look for the topic within your niche that other people are doing but isn't being done at such a high production level that it's going to cost you thousands of dollars to get into the race, right? Step 3 of 1 is going to be identifying the user's intent. Next you identify the user's intent. This just helps you write a better article too. That especially if you're tuning it towards the intent of what your purchaser or your clients are trying to accomplish. For this keyword, it's really obvious, but for the above duplicate content, it's not. You should always look at what ranks on page 1, that keyword, to find out what the user intent is. Usually it's very obvious, based off the ads that you see showing up for that keyword. That's a good way to determine what the general intent is of the searcher. You can just type in the keyword that you want to rank for and then look at the ads that are popping up. And a smart man can differentiate what the ads are generally trying to accomplish, or woman. You need to match what Google thinks with what your customers think, and then match that with your content so that it all ranks individually as well. Of course, step 2 is going to be checking the competitive volume. There's a few systems out there that you could use, ranging from Ahrefs, Google Analytics, Google Trends. You could use Facebook Insights. You could do whatever you're using. I suggest Ahrefs. I suggest Ahrefs because Ahrefs is the best, flat out. I've never seen anything provide a better system, SEMrush aside. Certain programs that you can pay for that have upgrades to their system. Yeah, that's nice. But generally speaking, Ahrefs is going to give you the best information on search volume, right? Or Google Trends. And again, they're not really accurate. They should be more accurate. You think they would be? They make more money. But you check the base search volume for the keyword first. But more importantly, you want to see the traffic or keywords from the pages that are on page 1. That way you can kind of see what they're using. So if you got a system that, in place that lets you look up the domain activity, keywords, and targeting of other websites like Ahrefs, for example, which you can, reverse search your client's traffic and see what kind of activity they're getting, what keywords they're using. You want to do that first. That way, you're looking at the volume. Because, again, it goes back to, like, one keyword could get 100,000 searches a day. Another one gets 1,000. The 1,000 might have a much higher intent-based search, and that's much more valuable to rank for. So that's why you want to, again, go off of the volume, but not in the sense of which one's got the most. It has to fit your marketing plan, the intent of your customer, the content, and the intent of your content. So if you target the group, you'll get quite a bit of traffic if you go for, like, the ones that are 10,000, 100,000 plus searches a month. But again, you're also in quite a bit of competition with those. So volume is definitely a very important factor, but doesn't necessarily mean you should or shouldn't do anything based off of volume. It's more about the intent of the topic that you're targeting, the keyword, and the intent of the customers that will determine which volume seems like it's got a better return on your investment for you to spend your time and company's money into. Now, how I would do this is, for example, you could go onto Google Trends here. If you guys want to follow me along, just go to Google and type in Google Trends, and you'll see it pop up right away, trends.google.com. We're going to use Smoke Shop, as a search term right here. So we'll just go ahead and type in Smoke Shop. Now, when you're using Google Trends, you can see you can compare it to other ones too. So you got up to 5 or 6 sections you can use. You can do web search category, past 12 months, past 24 hours. You can also see what's most trending in the world in the past 24 hours on Google Trends. Heads up to anybody that wants to have a blog or a topic and you want to know what's trending at any given moment. You can literally go onto Google Trends and see what's been searched on Google most in the past hour or so. So, just FYI. Now, when we're looking at Smoke Shop, we go down, we can see the states by interest. We can also see the related topics, Area 51 Smoke Shop, Cannabis Shop, tetrahydrocannabinoids, Monkey Smoke Shop. All right, now, if we change this, I think we can change this to related quarries. Smoke Shop near me, get about, I'd say 90% of the volume. So here's one of those things where you're looking at the volume and you're like, okay, the 90% of the volume is going to Smoke Shop near me and Smoke Shop near, right? So you're probably targeting the same keywords thousands of people are. Now, much lower percentage of volume, but fourth highest ranking right now would be Vape Shop. Vape Shop may be a much more valuable keyword to target in a sense because it's got a lot less competition. It's got a lot less volumes on searches, so you're going to have a higher chance of showing up. If we go back all the way to number 10, though, I mean, we're still only looking at like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 searches a month, but Glass Smoke Shop, very specific keyword right there, number 14th in place as of right now in the past 12 months, in the past year. Glass Smoke Shop is about 14. From number 1 to 14, it's not high on the list, but it's only 2 down from CBD, which is extremely high search volume. So in all regards, what we're looking for is a key phrase that we think that we can target that isn't super competitive. If it is very competitive, you want to be aware that you're going to need a much bigger budget, and you're going to want to work a little faster. It's going to take you a little time, 3-6 months, depending on what you're doing. It's a myth that SEO doesn't have a return on its investment immediately You know, there's lots of SEO tactics out there that take effect within the first week of them being implemented. Okay, back to the keyword ranking and how to rank for the keyword itself. We're going to go to step 3, gather your main keywords for the topic. Now, I would say if we're looking at laptops, for example, you know, best laptop for nursing students, best laptops for nursing students with an S, laptops for nursing students, best laptops for nursing schools. These are these long-tailed subjects, these terms that people are searching up, the how-to questions, where to, you know, where do I go to buy the best laptop for a student that's studying nursing school? You know, so you don't have to just target laptops or nursing school laptops. You want to have multiple keywords, and then you want to have those keywords embedded within the content throughout the website, answering those specific questions for the topic. You know, best computer for nursing school. This is probably getting a little irrelevant, but Google probably considers the user's intent close enough to what they want to show the user. So if they believe your website matches the intent of the user, then they're going to show you more often than they're going to show somebody that just has the keywords targeted. Step 4 is going to be, you want to gather the topics and questions to cover. Look through a few pages in the top 10. Ignore outliers that are in the top 10. Strong sites. Don't look at strong sites. You want to look at, you know, the ones that are showing up 10 or 9th organically. That's going to be more along your lines if you're just starting. Note down a few topics and questions. So, you know, let's take a quick look here at what we could do as far as topic and questions for nursing schools, right? Or nursing school laptops. We could do like nursing school, college students, minimum requirements as a search term. We could do lectures, maximum productivity, durability, time in nursing school. There's a bunch of little ones. Again, research is going to be very important in that department. And then step 5 is word count. Now, if there's 3 sites that are quite weak with 3,500, 4,500, and 6,500 words, then go for something between 3,700 and 4,800. You know, depending on what the competition's got, you're going to have to count the words, and you need to make sure that you have at least the average of what the top 10 are coming up for. If you want to show up number 1, you're going to have 5,800. If the average is 6,000 to 4,000 words per site or on the page that are showing up number 1, then you want to make sure you have at least, you know, the average on that. The last step here that we're going to get into is step 6, word and phrase usage counts. This is where some people get confused and think about keyword density. That's not true. Google isn't checking for percents. Percentiles are irrelevant. It doesn't really matter if an article is 2,000 words or 4,000 words per se. Besides the word count of the average article that shows up page 1, like we just discussed, you want to make sure you have the average, but you don't necessarily need it. Okay. It just needs enough usage of keywords so Google knows what the page is about. The title is not enough. It can't just be the title. I don't care if you've ranked pages with just keywords in the title before. I've done that. I mean, it happens depending on the keyword. I ranked a website for wind turbine toolkit services, but I mean, really realistically, how many people are targeting that? It showed up page 1 4 days later, but I mean, there were no searches coming in for that term, so I had to change it up, find something that was getting more searches. But again, now we're dipping into more competition, so it doesn't prove anything to have it in the title. Try to consistently beat the kind of articles ranking for this nurse article laptop service as an example, but again, you can apply this to landscaping or any service that you're talking about. Try to be consistently keeping up with their content and researching it. You need to not only copy the way that they're writing and the amount that they're writing, but the keyword density and the frequency that they're asking questions with the keyword inside of them. Let's see here. So there are so many factors in SEO. It doesn't prove anything to try to consistently beat the kind of articles ranking for this term, best laptops for nursing students. You just won't beat them if you put that in the title. They're all optimized for the same thing. Even the guys on page 2 and 3 are optimized for the same thing, most likely. So where you can beat these guys is through better optimization. They may be using core keywords enough times. They may they might not be using in enough questions or topics throughout their website. So you find out which ones are weaker and plan on beating those competition 1 week at a time. So again, it's all about minor increases. So with this said, let's look more at what you want to do in this step before writing. First, your core keyword. This is fairly simple one, and is the vast majority of the cases. You want to use the core keywords like, for example, title H1, and then H2, H3, and then 1 to 2 times in the body. Generally somewhere in the first few paragraphs. Absolute minimum of using it 3 times, within the first few paragraphs. There's no reason not to. You could use it 5 times, but try to use it at least a minimum of 3 times. Using it 3 times in a 1,000-word article is not going to put you into dangerous territory. Help Google out. It is just an algorithm. Doesn't understand when you're saying things like, one of the major advantages that the ASUS XYZ has for nursing students is that it's really sturdy with an extra long battery life. So it's ideal for moving around from lecture to lecture. You as a human know that this is very relevant for best laptop for nursing students, but Google does not. So keep that in mind. That again, it is still a computer, and it's looking for specific indicators. It's an algorithm. It's looking for specific indicators. I guess one of let me see, how Google would actually phrase this would be advantages of ASUS nursing students. ASUS for nursing students. ASUS is sturdy. They're looking for the shorter tail terms, to pop up in the question that the person's typing, because they of course know there's so many different variations of these questions. Now, if you have any questions on this, I know that's a lot to take in, and we're going to get back to this and expand on each section as the week goes. That way we can, I didn't get to hit on everything, so the next video we'll kind of go into each section, and we'll talk about some different advantages that you can do to rank on page 1. But again, this has been a short marketing news update with White Wolf Marketing. My name's Douglas Holmes. You guys can always reach out to me at 714-631-9012, or you can go ahead and email me at holmesdouglas23@gmail.com. I'll have all the information in the video below, and I'll have some of the descriptive terms that I just went over, so you guys can, in case you didn't catch them during the verbal commune, you can go down and read everything I just lectured about. And definitely, again, make sure to like and subscribe to the video so we can get more content out there. I want you guys to have a good day and enjoy yourselves.